In this video, we want to see if Netflix is a good business and if now is the time to buy. So, we're going to create a narrative in 3 minutes. I've been following and researching Netflix on my watchlist for a while now, and I feel confident enough to switch from following the analyst price target to creating my own narrative and fair value estimate. In the narrative builder here, I'm going to follow Simply Wall Street's method of catalysts, assumptions, and risks, because not only will that help me articulate my thoughts on the stock's prospects, it will make it easy for the Simply Wall Street community to read it and provide feedback, ideas, or any contributions when I share it. I'm going to use my notes on the side here to create my narrative from the prior research that I've done. My thinking for Netflix is pretty simple. My only catalyst is that I reckon the Netflix subscribers and average revenue per member are both going to grow because of the success of the ads plan with both users globally and advertisers over the next few years. As for trying to quantify that catalyst, I assume that this will materialize in the form of 350 million paying subs by 2029 who earn the company around $178 per year on average. So that equals $62.4 billion in revenue. The risk to my narrative is that this might not happen if competitors offer better content or cheaper plans, but I don't think that's likely to occur because Netflix has built a solid moat in the form of intellectual property and huge scale to offer competitive pricing. Now, to value all of this on the right here, I'll start with revenue growth. That subscriber and average revenue per member assumption that I made here equals around 11.45% revenue growth because it reaches $62 billion in revenue in 2029. As for the profit margins, they're currently around 20%, and I believe they will still be able to maintain them as Netflix continues to grow in scale and reduce its costs. So if profit margins remain the same at 20%, profits will reach $12.5 billion by 2029. Then, as for the PE ratio on those future earnings, I've had a look at the industry average and peers on the company report for some context. I reckon it will be lower than today as their future growth prospects in 2029 will probably slow down by then. So I'll assign a PE ratio of 30 times earnings. Now, that gives me a fair value estimate of $735, and I'm happy with all those inputs and reasoning. Now, before I'm finished, I just need to give my narrative a title before I share it with the community. So I'm going to summarize my thinking and say Netflix ad plans will increase average revenue per member and total revenue. Now I'm done. So I'm going to click save and share this with the Simply Wall Street investor community to get feedback on my narrative and their input on my thinking. For now, according to my current estimates, it looks like Netflix as a hold. As time goes on, I'll continue to monitor this narrative when new information becomes available to make sure it's unfolding as I expected and I can make any adjustments when necessary. Then I'll post my updates to the community so that they can see how my narrative is unfolding and share their own feedback or ideas. I'll do this for all the stocks in my portfolio so that I'm managing a portfolio of narratives. And that is how you create a narrative in 3 minutes.